Hello. Let me check my microphone. Okay. It is on. Try to keep it closer so you can hear me better. So today was my third or fourth RCIA class. OCIA is what I think they're calling it now, but not in my neck of the woods because we're behind the times. um, Today we talked about the Bible in general. Um, and my questions were, let me see, this is my notebook. We talked about, do you take it literally, metaphorically, parables, things like that. For example, okay, I had to answer a question. And I have to do this quickly because I have to go to the pharmacy and then the store. And if you want to go grocery shopping, you have to drive for 30 minutes to get to the store. My main question had been, when you decide to read the Bible, do you start at the beginning, or where should you start? And there is a very small class. It's just me and another person, and then there's our priest and another layperson as facilitator. And I actually prefer when he does the class because he is more open and animated and comfortable. Our priest, I think, is kind of shy or socially awkward. I think he might have autism because when he does the class, he's like really closed in and looking straight at the thing down there, and it makes me paranoid because I don't know what he's thinking. And this other guy doesn't get that vibe, but I totally understand, because if I did a group, that's how I would be doing it. Closed body language and that. But they said start with the New Testament, but I'd already started the Old Testament and I have autism. I cannot do step 2 without doing step 1. So I've decided to try an alternative, and that is like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, read the New Testament, and the other days read the Old Testament. The reason being, 4 days is the Old Testament. It's thicker. And yes, I do read daily. I sometimes only have time for one chapter. Sometimes I can do 2. And I'm just finished Judges. And but I have hit on into the New Testament. I have hit on, as I've looked things up and look at prayers and things, I do have some knowledge of the New Testament. And I was very proud of myself because I actually asked a few questions and was part of a discussion. Like, I couldn't understand why God would say, okay, now this land is going to be yours, and this land's going to be yours, and this land's going to be yours, and you go there, but there's already people there, and they're worshiping idols. So you need to go and make war with them and kill them and take their land. And I'm like, and then you look at the New Testament, and it's all about loving your enemy, talking to people, a totally different approach, and why that happened, why that changed was, and the answer had to do with the maturity level, evolution wise, of the people in the Old Testament to the people in the New Testament, is the explanation I got. And I asked about why and when certain books were removed from the Bible, and we ended up touching on the Reformation, and you know what to take literally, what can some people do choose to take or believe that they should take everything to the letter, but I'm saying that I'm being taught that perhaps, you know, like, some things are real, even though they're hard to believe, like the miracles, but there could be stories or parables to make a point, such as like a dramatization, such as Job, or creation in 7 days. If evolution is correct, there's still the understanding that it wouldn't have taken place without God. So this is what my priest has taught me in this class, and I don't have any disrespect for someone who takes every single thing literally. I don't know yet where I fall with that, so don't kind of come for me. I'm a newbie and I'm exploring and having my own journey, so just leave it at that. What else did I learn? I asked about, you know, we talked about how now we value life more, and let's see. There was, like, the Old Testament was like, okay, we got to get this done. We're going to do this. We're going to get rid of these people. We're going to move in, like that. And then the New Testament is more of a gradual coming to a state of being and understanding that there are some contradictions in the old and new, and context has something to do with that. I did ask the questions I couldn't ask last time because I was in so much dental pain at the time. So those questions were about, because I think we did the Apostles' Creed last time, and we touched on some things, and I had questions that were extensions of that, like when some people say Lord, they mean God the Father, and when some people say Lord, they mean Jesus. So how do you know which? And usually it's context that says, you know, tells you which somebody is referring to. Let's see. Oh, my question was, when and how did Lucifer become Satan? Did he pick that name? Did someone give him that name? And the answer was they call Satan all kinds of things. But nobody really knows if he chose that name or if he was given that name. I forgot to ask about Satan. Did hell already exist? That's an important one. I need to highlight that or underline it so I can ask it next time. When Lucifer fell, did hell already exist? Apparently it did, because heaven and earth, and because Jesus went to hell when he died for 3 days. So I need more information. I asked, are people evil, or is there just evil in them, or do they just do evil things? And I have a personal story that goes with that. I was on a certain path in my life at one time, and it was positive, and I was going places, and I was becoming a responsible adult, young adult, and I was on my way to a big and bright future. I don't know what happened to it. I'm just kidding. I know. I was doing all the right things. I was a young adult. 21. And I ran into an old friend from teenagehood that I hadn't seen in years. And she already had a couple kids who were running around barefoot and dirty. She worked at a gas station, and she saw me, and she was like, there was something that happened to her eyes that made them really dark and like shiny. In the way she said something to me scared me, and I'd never felt anything like that before. But she was like, yeah, you gotta come over to my house sometime. She said, I don't have a phone, but here's my address, and she handed it to me on a piece of paper. She was, just come, we have anything you would want. Alcohol, pot, Coke, whatever you're into, we have it. Just come on over. And it was like not a person. And so I took the information and I went to my car and I sat in it, and I was not an active Christian. I wanted it, but I wasn't actively seeking it. But I was sitting in my car and I was thinking, I was just tested to, instead of going in the direction of positivity and goodness in my life, I was being tempted by a past of partying and, that a path that she had taken. And it was quite unnerving and scary to me. And I don't tell that story much. So anyway, that was that. And I'm going to tell you another verse on my book that I like, and that's why I put them on here. Let's see. And I tell you, ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Luke 11:9. And I have found that when I do seek, when I do ask, and I do seek, like, I'm in huge debt for dental work that I had to have without insurance, and I'm in huge debt. And my prayers were, um, help me earn the money that I need to pay these people off and my credit cards off. I'm willing to work for the money. I don't expect it to be dropped in my lap. And I'm only asking for opportunities to make more money so I can pay my debt off, because I am that kind of person that does pay debt back. I will go without to pay someone back. But I train dogs, and things were a bit slow. So my prayer was to really just find a way to pay for these debts. And not long after that, I started getting more phone calls for dog training gigs. And in a bill that I thought was going to be, $100 turned out to only be $50. And I really do feel like that was in response to prayer. I wasn't praying for money to buy something nice for myself or anything like that. It was something that I had to have done. I had these 6 teeth, and these 4 had worn the tops, and decay had come down, and I needed root canals and stuff, or right now I would be talking to you with no bottom teeth. So, and the only other alternative from root canals and that is pulling the teeth, and I know for a fact that you have to have your teeth for your health. So that's that. I gotta go. Bye.